So I think the most common question I always get, or you'll see online, is how to get rid of belly fat. And I can understand why people want to do it, but I can promise you, I am not holding back from you. There's not a secret that I'm holding back. There's not a cream, there's not a wrap, there's not a detox, there's not a supplement, there's not an exercise. There's absolutely nothing we can do to target a specific body part to lose body fat. Because if you think about it, if your body actually worked that way, wouldn't somebody who walks a lot lose all the body fat in their lower body and maybe not their upper body? Wouldn't someone who's typing have a lot thinner fingers because they're losing the fat in their hands? There's not a lot of fat in your hands to begin with. Wouldn't somebody who climbs stairs a lot, maybe their legs or their thighs are thinner because they're using their thighs more? It's not, unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way. And I promise you, there's nothing I'm holding back for you. I'm not trying to keep on to you for longer. The one thing that you have to get into is a calorie deficit. You have to apply patience. You have to be consistent. And you just, after time, it will happen. And for the first time ever, I'm going to use a prop when I explain this situation to you. So your body doesn't get rid of body fat specifically in certain areas, depending on what exercise you do, or really any other reason outside of the two factors. There's a hormonal / genetic factor, and then there's like the order of things it likes to do things, right? So your body will tend to protect fat around your midsection because it protects your organs. Now, this is a double-edged sword, because if there's too much fat in your near your organs, it can cause extra work on them. It could cause damage, but we'll talk about that in the future. What your body does, it usually loses in the opposite direction it gains. And for most people, majority of people, because there are some exceptions, it's from the outside in. So that's, as an example, if we use like a paper towel roll or toilet paper or whatever, there's a good analogy here. Let's say this is your midsection, and you want to, lose this fat right here, this one little piece of paper towel in this case. You want to use that. That's the fat you're trying to burn. You cannot do anything to get there. You actually have to go use, you have to use that one, and then that one, and then that one, and then eventually, after you've done a whole bunch, you get all the way close to here, and then you can see your abs, you can see your belly fat gone. But it's only when you've sustained a calorie deficit long enough to go through this sort of ring to get to the middle part that you'll actually see your midsection in this case. And this is why they say abs are made in the kitchen, because no matter how many ab exercises you do, you can't see this until all of this melts away. All the snow is gone. You can't see this nice garden here. And that only happens when the heat gets enough. You're burning enough energy. You're getting in a calorie deficit that it rids your body of the excess body fat, the excess energy that's stored. I'm using a whole bunch of analogies here because they should be coming together. And I wish there was a way to speed this up, but there's not. I promise you, if there were, you'd see it labeled on my website, The Secret to Fat Loss. You can have it for $10. But there is no way. You have to go through this whole roll. Now, it doesn't necessarily happen like this like around in this sense, but it usually goes from the outside in. So you're going to go from the outside in, and then at some point, you're going to see your abs again, right? That being said, you know how to get fat off your body, because I've told you how to do this before. Calorie deficit. How you get there, it's different for everybody. It can be different. It doesn't have to be. But we've talked about the big rocks. And if you need a refresher, you know where to find it. But you need to go through all these paper towels first before you can get to that center roll.